My wife screamed, "Your mother dies alone or we divorce." When I said Mom needed care, I replied, "I'll pack tonight." Then I revealed Mom's will, leaving me her $2.8 million estate that my wife had been counting on. Her divorce lawyer suddenly became very interested in reconciliation. I, 38 male, was sitting at our kitchen table last Thursday when my wife Desiree, 35, lost her absolute mind over a simple statement. Mom's oncologist says she needs someone with her now. I'm bringing her home. Desiree slammed her wine glass down so hard it cracked. Absolutely not. That woman is not living in my house. Des, she has stage 3 cancer. The treatment center is 40 minutes away. She needs, your mother dies alone or we divorce. The words hung in the air. Our daughter Qley, 14, stood frozen in the doorway, having heard everything. I looked at my wife of 16 years, really looked at her. The woman who'd been making snide comments about Mom's dramatics since the diagnosis, who'd rolled her eyes when Mom couldn't make Qley's recital because of chemo, who'd been openly discussing our future inheritance with her sister Francine. "I'll pack tonight," I said. Desiree actually laughed. "You're bluffing. You wouldn't leave me for that bitter old woman." I stood up. "Qley, grab your weekend bag, we're going to Grandma's." That's when Desiree made her fatal error. "Good luck affording even a studio apartment on your teacher's salary. When you come crawling back, maybe I'll consider letting that woman visit for holidays. Supervised visits." I smiled. "Actually, about that." See, what Desiree never knew was that Mom wasn't just some retired librarian living off Social Security. Mom was Eleanor Thorne. Yeah, that Eleanor Thorne. The romance novelist who wrote under 12 different pen names throughout the 80s and 90s. Her books were grocery store gold. She'd invested every penny. The house Desiree thought was a dumpy rental? Paid off. Worth $750 in this market. The pathetic retirement fund my wife mocked? Tried $2.8 million in diversified investments. And the best part? Mom updated her will the day after Desiree called her a manipulative burden at Thanksgiving. Everything goes to me. Every single penny. What are you talking about? Desiree's voice had changed. Mom's estate planning. You know, the one you said was probably just funeral costs and junk? Her lawyer sent me the updates yesterday. I pulled up the email on my phone, watched my wife's face go from smug to pale to calculating in about 3 seconds. "Baby, wait, let's talk about this." I was emotional. "You know I love Eleanor. Her name is Mom, and no, you don't." I packed methodically while Desiree followed me room to room, cycling through manipulation tactics like she was speedrunning a toxic relationship manual. First came tears. 16 years. You're throwing away 16 years. Then threats. "I'll take everything in the divorce. The house, alimony, child support. You'll be living in your car." Then bargaining. "She can visit. Every weekend, I'll cook for her." Finally rage. "You're a pathetic mama's boy. No wonder I started talking to men who actually act like men." That stopped me cold. "What men?" Her face went red. "Nothing. I meant hypothetically." Qley chose that moment to walk in with her bag. "Mom's been texting Mr. Garrett from her spin class. I saw the messages when she asked me to plug in her phone last week." The silence was deafening. Update 1. Holy hell. This exploded. To answer questions, yes, we're getting divorced. Yes, Qley chose to stay with me and Mom. No, I don't care if you think I'm wrong. So Desiree went full psycho after we left. First, she called Mom directly. At the chemo center. During treatment, screaming about how Mom poisoned me against her and destroyed our marriage. The nurses had to threaten to call security. Then she showed up at Mom's house at 2 a.m., pounding on the door, demanding to talk like adults. Mom's neighbors called the cops. Desiree told them I'd kidnapped our daughter. The cops asked Qley if she wanted to go with her mother. Qley's response, "I'm staying with Dad and Grandma. Mom can kick rocks." The officer tried not to laugh. Desiree was told to leave or be arrested for disturbing the peace. But here's where it gets interesting. Remember Mr. Garrett? Turns out he's married. His wife Janelle was Desiree's best friend from her gym squad. When Janelle found out, thank you Qley's screenshot skills, she didn't just dump Garrett. She forwarded everything to their entire gym community Facebook group. 712 members. The messages were, "Wow, Desiree calling me a walking wallet with no spine." Garrett saying his wife was letting herself go. Plans to meet up while I was at parent-teacher conferences. Photos that I really didn't need to see. Desiree got banned from the gym. Garrett got served divorce papers at the gym. During spin class, Janelle's lawyer walked right up to the bike. But wait, there's more. Desiree's sister Francine called me, not to apologize or mediate, but to ask if Mom would consider including family who actually appreciated her in the will. When I laughed and hung up, she texted, "You're being selfish. Desiree deserves that money after putting up with you and your mother for years. I'm calling a lawyer." Good luck with that, Francine. Pretty sure my sister put up with her husband isn't grounds for inheritance claims. Mom's doing better, BTW. Having Qley around has lifted her spirits. They're watching old movies and Mom's teaching her to knit. It's actually pretty adorable. Desiree's lawyer contacted mine yesterday. She wants the house that I owned before marriage, lifetime alimony, and her share of Mom's future estate. My lawyer literally said, "Is she high?" Apparently Desiree told her lawyer that Mom's money was marital assets because we were married when Mom made the will. That's not how any of this works. Tomorrow's the first mediation meeting. This should be fun. Update 2. Mediation was a shit show. Desiree showed up in a $2,000 suit I'd never seen before. Guess Mr. Garrett's joint credit cards hadn't been frozen yet. She brought Francine as emotional support and a financial advisor named Brendan, who turned out to be some dude she met on a dating app 3 days after I left. My lawyer started with the facts. House was mine before marriage, inherited from my dad. Mom's estate isn't marital property, and infidelity impacts alimony in our state. Desiree's lawyer pushed a paper across the table. Their demands: the house, 50% of my retirement, $3,000 per month alimony, 50% of Mom's estate upon her passing, full custody of Qley, child support. I actually laughed. Out loud. My lawyer kicked me under the table, but I couldn't help it. Counter offer, I said. She gets her clothes, her car she's still paying for, and 50% of the marital debt she racked up. Francine screeched, "You can't leave her with nothing. She gave you the best years of her life." She gave those to Mr. Garrett, apparently. Brendan tried to act tough. "Maybe we should discuss what's best for everyone." "Who are you again?" my lawyer interrupted. "Are you counsel? Family? No? Then please sit quietly." Here's where Desiree played what she thought was her ace. "I'm pregnant." The room went silent. My lawyer looked at me. I looked at her. "Congratulations to you and Mr. Garrett," I said. "It's yours." "Interesting, since we haven't had sex since." "What was it you said in those texts? Having to pretend to be attracted to him makes me physically ill? That was 6 months ago. Right?" Her face went purple. "You went through my phone?" "Nope. Janelle sent me everything, including the message where you told Garrett you started birth control because the thought of another kid with that loser made you sick." Francine grabbed Desiree's arm. "You said the pregnancy would guarantee." "Shut up, Fran." My lawyer was taking notes so fast I thought his pen might catch fire. Then came the extinction. The meltdown of the century. Desiree flipped the table. Actually flipped it. Papers everywhere. Then she lunged at me screaming about how I ruined everything and owed her a lifestyle. Security had to drag her out while she screamed that my mother was probably faking cancer for attention anyway. That's on camera, BTW. The mediator's office has security footage. Her lawyer quietly packed up and said he'd be reassessing his representation. But the real drama came that night. Desiree convinced Francine to help her break into Mom's house to retrieve marital property. They brought Brendan and Francine's boyfriend Luther as muscle. Problem: Mom's neighbor is a retired cop who set up a security system for her last year. The second they jimmied the back door, the alarm went off. Cameras started recording, and he was already calling 911. They were on the back patio trying to move Mom's antique piano. A piano. At midnight. In the rain. All four got arrested: burglary, attempted theft, and trespassing. Brendan had outstanding warrants for unpaid child support. Shocker. Luther was on probation for assault. Bigger shocker. The security footage is it's absolutely damning. Clear shots of all four faces. Francine literally saying, "We deserve this more than that dying bitch," while trying to lift a piano bench. Mom watched the footage from her bed with Qley and me. Her only comment: they couldn't even steal competently. Update 3. So, remember how I said this was far from over? Understatement of the century. Desiree made bail and immediately went on a social media rampage, posted on every platform that I was abusing an elderly cancer patient for money and isolating a sick woman from loved ones. She tagged Mom's publisher, my school, even Qley's school. The publisher's response was golden. Miss Thorne's estate and medical decisions are private family matters. However, we can confirm she's receiving excellent care from her son. P.S. Her new manuscript is due next month and she's ahead of schedule. Yeah, Mom's still writing. Timo can't stop Eleanor Thorne. My principal called me in, concerned. I showed him everything, the texts, the arrest report, the mediation footage. He not only cleared me, but filed a harassment complaint with the district against Desiree for attempting to interfere with an educator's employment through false allegations. But Desiree wasn't done. She started a blog called Abandoned by a Narcissist, where she posted our story. Except in her version, Mom was manipulating me with fake cancer. I was emotionally abusive, and she was the victim of a calculated financial assault. The comments were brutal, not for me, but her. Someone found her arrest record and posted it. Another person was Janelle's cousin who posted the cheating screenshots. Then Mom's editor found it and commented, "Eleanor Thorne has been my client for 30 years. This woman tried to steal a piano from a cancer patient. Draw your own conclusions." The blog lasted 72 hours before Desiree deleted everything. Then came the legal letters. Desiree's new lawyer, the fourth one, sent a proposal. She'd accept $50,000 cash, the car, and no alimony if I agreed to not pursue criminal charges for the break-in. I can't pursue charges. The state is pursuing charges. That's not how crime works. My lawyer responded, "Mrs. Desiree will receive the division of assets as determined by law. No additional payments will be made. Criminal proceedings are not within our client's control. Please advise your client that any further harassment will result in civil action." Qley, meanwhile, had to get therapy because kids at school found her mom's blog before it got deleted. The therapist actually called me last week to say Qley's handling this with remarkable maturity and seems relieved to be in a stable environment. Then yesterday happened. I'm at Mom's treatment with her when my phone starts blowing up. Desiree held a press conference on her Instagram Live. Press conference. For her 847 followers. She announced she was suing Mom's estate for emotional damages, me for financial abuse, and the mediation center for allowing violence against her. The table she flipped. She also announced she was pregnant with twins and engaged to Brendan, who's still in jail for the break-in and unpaid child support. The press conference ended when someone commented, "Isn't your fiancé in jail?" And Desiree threw her phone. But here's the beautiful part. Mom's oncologist says she's responding amazing to treatment. The tumor is shrinking faster than expected. She might not need the full chemo course. When I told Mom about the press conference, she laughed so hard the nurses came to check on her. Then she said, "I'm updating the will again. Qley gets a full ride to any college she wants. You get everything else. And I'm adding a clause that if Desiree or any of her family members contest it, $100 goes to a charity for adult literacy, since they clearly can't read the room." The divorce is finalized next month. Desiree's getting her clothes and personal items, the car that she owes $18,000 on, $0 alimony infidelity clause, supervised visitation with Qley, who refuses to see her anyway, 50% of the marital credit card debt she created. She has to pay me child support. Not much, but the principal kills her. Final update. Court day was yesterday. I need you all to understand the level of delusion we're dealing with here. Desiree showed up wearing a wedding dress. I'm not joking. A full white wedding dress. Her reasoning to the judge, "I wanted to remind everyone of the sanctity of marriage that he destroyed." The judge, a 60-year-old woman who looked like she'd seen everything, stared at her for a solid 10 seconds before saying, "Ma'am, you committed bigamy with your spin class instructor. We never actually married. It was just Instagram official." Francine was there in a Team Desiree t-shirt. She'd made multiple ones. Nobody else wore them. Brendan was still in jail, so he attended via video call. Orange jumpsuit really brought out his eyes. The proceedings. Desiree's lawyer tried to argue for more assets, citing emotional labor and career sacrifice. The judge asked what career she'd sacrificed. "I could have been an influencer." What prevented you from pursuing that? Having to maintain a household. According to these receipts, you spent 40 hours a week at the gym. Your husband did all the cooking, cleaning, and childcare after his teaching job. Silence. Then Francine stood up. You're not supposed to just stand up in court, and yelled, "This is discrimination against stay-at-home wives." The judge, she wasn't staying at home, she was staying at the gym, with another man. Sit down or be removed. The best part was when they brought up Mom's estate again. The judge literally said, for the 5th time, future inheritance is not marital property. Your mother-in-law could leave her entire estate to a cat shelter if she wanted, which honestly might have caused less drama. Mom, who attended via video call for her victim impact statement about the break-in, waved at the camera. Cats are lovely, but my son and granddaughter are better. Desiree lost it, started screaming about how Mom had stolen her life and turned everyone against her. Security moved toward her. She grabbed Francine's purse and threw it at me, missed. Hit her own lawyer. The judge ordered her removed. As security dragged her out, she screamed, "I'm pregnant with twins." Judge, congratulations, the divorce is granted. The aftermath. Desiree got 10 days in jail for contempt. The criminal trial for the break-in is next month. Brendan dumped her via a note from jail. Luther's girlfriend snuck it out. Francine started a GoFund. Kidding, she started asking Mom's publisher for a consultation fee for inspiring a character. The gym Mr. Garrett went to? They framed the divorce papers. Janelle served him as a warning about inappropriate conduct. As for us, Mom finished treatment last week. She's in remission. The doctors are calling it remarkable. She celebrated by finishing her latest novel, a thriller about a woman who discovers her daughter-in-law is trying to kill her for inheritance. Pure fiction, Mom says with a wink. Qley joined the creative writing club at school. Her first story? My mom went crazy and all I got was this trauma. The teacher called it therapeutically brilliant. I'm dating Monica, the nurse from Mom's treatment center. She thinks the whole story is insane and makes me retell parts at dinner parties. Her friends call it better than reality TV. Mom officially updated her will last week. Everything to me and Qley, with one addition. If anyone contests it, their portion goes to establishing a creative writing scholarship called the Eleanor Thorne Award for Detecting Bullshit. Desiree? Last I heard from mutual friends, she's living with some new guy named Roger she met at her court-ordered anger management. She told everyone she's writing a memoir called Gaslit, My Story. Roger's wife would like a word about that. Francine still texts occasionally asking for money. I forward them to my lawyer, who forwards them to the harassment file. The piano they tried to steal? Mom donated it to Qley's school. There's a plaque, donated by Eleanor Thorne. Too heavy for thieves, perfect for students. To everyone saying I should have seen the signs sooner. You're right. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. When Desiree told me on our 3rd date that her ex was crazy for not letting her use his credit cards after they broke up, that should have been my exit cue. But hey, I got Qley out of it, and Mom's still here, writing romance novels and teaching my daughter that strong women don't need weak people's approval. The divorce papers are framed in my new apartment, not because I'm bitter, but because the part where the judge wrote petitioner showed up in a wedding dress to divorce proceedings is comedy gold. Mom's book comes out next month. She's dedicating it to my son, who knows when to take out the trash. I'm living my best life. Desiree's living whatever she's doing. Oh, and Desiree? Since I know you still cyberstalk me, Mr. Garrett told Janelle everything. Everything. Including that thing with your sister's wedding fund. Francine's gonna be pissed when she finds out where her 5K really went. Edit. Since everyone's asking, yes, Mom's books are still in print. No, I won't reveal her pen names. Nice try, Desiree. Edit 2. The twins thing was fake. Shocking, I know. Edit 3. Brendan's out of jail and dating Francine now. That family tree is becoming a family wreath. Mom calls it poetic justice. Qley calls it gross.